Would you dispute the fact that Israel is becoming increasingly isolated and increasingly viewed as a pariah around the world? You have all these allies now, from Canada to Europe to Australia and beyond, joining the majority in recognizing a Palestinian state officially.
It has been a very long war, also for us. No one expected it to last for more than 2 years, and now we're entering almost 2 years. We didn't expect it to be so long. And I know that many countries want to show that they are doing something, but we are focused on the goals of the war. And the goals are to bring the hostages back and to eliminate Hamas. We have achieved a lot, but we haven't finished the job. And we are committed, and that's what we are telling our allies here. It's very nice to have all those declarations, the conferences, but let's face reality. And President Trump gave a very powerful speech, and he faced reality. The reality is we have 48 hostages still in Gaza. We have to do everything we can, and we will bring them back home. And Hamas is still in parts of Gaza, still they have control. I think that we are moving forward, and we are getting close to the situation where we'll be able to defeat Hamas. So it's not easy for us to hear all those condemnations, but I would ask any leader that came here today, what would you do if you had 48 citizens of your own country now in the tunnels in Gaza?
It is an awful situation for those hostages, there is no doubt about it. But many of the families say that it is your government's policies that are, lengthening their issues and their imprisonment and their captivity in mortal danger. Many of the hostages have said that the latest offensive against Gaza City is essentially signing their death warrant, those who are still alive. Qatar said, when you bombed the negotiators in Qatar, in Doha, that this spells the death. This is a death warrant for those hostages. I see you shaking your head. Why not?
We have no interest to prolong this war.
No, I'm talking about the hostages now.
So I'm telling that also to the hostage families. And we meet them, we host them here. They will come to the UN the day after tomorrow. But we're doing everything we can to bring them home. And sitting idly by and waiting for Hamas to accept the release of the hostages, it's not going to happen. Only pressure on Hamas will move the needle. And that's exactly what we are doing. We are applying more pressure, and I think it's moving to the right direction.
I've covered many wars, and by the way, I'm going to make a formal petition to you right now to let us into Gaza. You can answer me in a second. But what we've seen is that the United States, your closest ally, said that this time last year, in fact more than a year ago, Israel had accomplished its military objectives. You had defeated Hamas as a ruling entity, as a powerful entity, and you could have gone into more negotiations to get your hostages back then. That's number one. Number two, your own military officials, your former chief of staff of the military, Herzi Halevi, has said that this year, he told a community meeting in southern Israel that 1 in 10 Palestinians, i.e. 10% of Palestinians of Gaza, have been killed or injured since this war began. More than 200,000 people killed or injured, and that Israel took the gloves off and faced no legal restrictions in its actions. This is gone beyond what most people would admit was at the beginning your right to self-defense. You've achieved your military objectives. Now civilians are being killed by the thousands every day and starved to death.
I beg to differ with you about everything. And let's start with
what? Because this is your own people who are saying this.
But let's start with the idea about Hamas. I think every leader that spoke in the General Assembly spoke about the day after without Hamas.
Yes.
Even President Macron said it.
Correct.
And my question is, who exactly is going to remove Hamas? Hamas is
You've already...
Hamas, no, it's not true.
They're saying so.
Hamas is not listening to the decision of the General Assembly. They are not taking orders from the Élysée Palace in Paris. The only way to get rid of Hamas is what we do and what we are doing. So the burden is on our shoulders. It's very easy to say Hamas will not be part of the equation, but it's up to us to complete the job. And we have accomplished a lot, but we haven't finished the job. You have areas today that Hamas is still in control. And if Israel today pull out of Gaza and allow Hamas to rebuild its power, it's a threat to Israel, and the Palestinians are doomed with the regime of Hamas.